This is ABC7 News, Chicago's #1 news, with Ron Majors, Cheryl Burton, weather with meteorologist Jerry Taft, and sports with Margie and Greco. This is ABC7 News at 5.
When the news at 5 o'clock continues today, we're going to have some reaction from Chicago area Muslim Americans about Pope Benedict's apology for his controversial remarks. Muslim Americans living in the Chicago area are weighing in on Pope Benedict's apology for comments he made last week about Islam. The pontiff's remarks sparked violent protest in parts of the world. ABC7's Paul Meinke has more.
It was the Pope's reference to a medieval conversation that has ignited anger and disappointment in the Muslim world. Benedict XVI pointed to the remarks of a Byzantine emperor who characterized aspects of Islam as evil and inhuman, a religion spread by the sword. The Pope later expressed deep sorrow for the reaction, some of it quite violent, caused by the 14th century reference in his speech. But among many Muslims, including those here in Chicago, there's a feeling that Pope Benedict apologized only for the reaction to his speech and not for his judgment on the content he chose.
We understood that the words were from a Byzantine emperor from centuries back, but why even use that wording in the first place, especially given the current situation and the feelings that's rife in the whole world.
Not only ungrounded in fact, but are also, I think, the wrong kinds of messages to be sent by someone of his stature and someone who has the kind of potential that he has to create an environment of reconciliation.
That's a direct reference to Pope Benedict's predecessor and the widely held feeling among Muslims that John Paul II made extraordinary progress in healing centuries of wounds between Islam and the Catholic Church.
Pope John Paul was a figure who mastered building bridges between Catholicism and Islam. And all Pope Benedict has to do is to follow in his footsteps.
While Ahmad Rahab regards the Pope's apology as incomplete, he deplores the violent acts that have followed, saying that they are more insulting to Islam than any words in the speech by the Pope. What's crucial, he says, is avoiding misunderstanding.
I think that there is a lot of misunderstanding right now between Islam and the West, and that is why building bridges of dialogue and understanding is the only solution that we should pursue.
All this comes at an increasingly fragile time. The president today at the UN trying to assure some skeptical leaders that the war on terror is not a war on Islam. A new report from the Council on American Islamic Relations says that incidents of harassment and discrimination aimed at Muslims across the country has risen to a 12-year high. As for the controversy over the Pope's remarks, the Vatican has dispatched representatives to meet with various Muslim leaders in an effort to diffuse the anger and build bridges. Live in the newsroom, Paul Meinke, ABC7 News. Ron?
All right, thank you, Paul.